Hey, what's up, fellow YouTubers and bookworms? My name is Odie, and thank you so much for stopping by Lord Harry King's channel. If you've probably kind of figured it out, the name is it actually suggests two novels and a person, but obviously those novels have creators. So it'd basically be Tolkien, Rowling, and King. So those are kind of like my favorite authors. So I figured let me do something that has at least those three names on it. I like many other books, but yeah. But if you stop by here now today on this one, this is part five of my collection of books that I currently own. I'm actually gonna have to break this down to two parts per se because when I try to do one video on everything that I own on King, it just went way too long. I kind of want to keep these half an hour, a little bit less. So yeah, so let's kind of start and just kind of go from there. Let's actually show you what the shelf looks like, as you can see, and let's get rid of all the little stuff there. All right, and we are back. So all the knickknacks are gone, and I can kind of go through every single book. I'll let you know if I actually read it or not. I really should probably start a Goodreads, seeing as I'm going to start doing some reviews here and there, and some people might want to hear my opinion and whatnot. So we'll start with where he pretty much started. I don't have the first Carrie yet in hardback, but I do have it in paperback, and you'll see that in the other part. So as you can see, I have the Salem's Lot in this one. Yes, it's been read. The Shining, also been read. Night Shift has not been read yet. These are beautiful. It's total six of them. Obviously, they cover the double days of his when he started writing. The Dead Zone. This is a book of the month type of collection. So yeah, so it's not an actual first or second print or anything like that. And I have read it a couple times. Very good book. Skeleton Crew, an awesome book. Also read it. I actually even did the audio too. Stephen King's It. This is obviously a later copy. We'd love to eventually someday get an actual, not a first print, but at least the original cover to it. Misery. Voney, actually, I think I've read half of it. I've never actually finished it. Because then later on, I ended up watching the movie, and the movie was great, to be honest. I know it's very different, obviously. You can't compare 13, 14 hours of reading compared to, a 2-hour movie. But, yep. The Dark Half, another great one. Seen the movie also. Love the movie. But yeah, I have read this one, and it's a great book. For Past Midnight. I have read, I want to say real quick here, I think I've only read 3. Let's see, where is it? Where's the glossary? The Longineers, Secret Window, yes. The Sundog, I have not read The Library Policeman yet. So that's the only one that I'm missing. I know this is a little bit later, but just because it's already up there. The Psycho of the Werewolf, yes, I've read it. That's actually a paperback, I know. Needful Things, absolutely one of the best. I would say definitely my top 10. Dolores Claiborne, never read. Gotta read it someday. It's been in my TBR for probably 3 years at this point. Insomnia, absolutely. I've actually read this a couple times. I read it probably like 15 years ago or so, and then I just recently read it again. Great book. I love it. If you like The Dark Tower, this is, there's a little bit of glimpse of it. Rose Madder, I've never read it yet. Again, also my TBR to someday read. Stephen King's Desperation, I've read it, absolutely, and I've also done the audio, and it was great. I know this is a very a minority thing, but I actually like Richard Bachman's Regulators a little bit more. It's a little bit shorter, and I feel like it's a little bit tighter. But that's just me. I know everybody has a different opinion, but the popular opinion is this is always better out of the two. But I actually like this. I like the Regulators a bit more. Another fun fact for hardcovers, I don't have any Richard Bachman books. I may have actually one, but I don't have any hardcovers. Not yet. Bag of Bones. This was awesome. I slept on this. It took me 3 years to finally read it. I think I finished it like 4 or 5 months ago. My roommate kept telling me, "Oh, read it, it's great." I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll read it." But I finally did, and I love it. It was awesome. Hearts of Atlantis. I think I've read real quick. Let's kind of do this again. I have read. Let's see. Um, where are they? Why won't it show me the? I know this has a lot of short stories, but for some reason I can't find the first page. Does it? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of a different book. But anyway, I already put too much time into that. We'll just call it as I haven't read it. Dreamcatcher, yes, I have read it. This is again another book club type of book, so it's not an actual first printing or first whatever, but it's still cool though. Um, I don't in terms of as a collector, I'm not planning on ever having like every single book club type of book, but it's all right if I have one here and there. Black House, I loved it. I thought it was great. Really, really cool book. I actually like the second part a lot more, and hopefully someday he'll give us part three. So we'll see. There's been hints of it, but it just hasn't happened. Everything's eventual. I've never read it yet. Sorry if I'm not in the focus there. The Cell. I've seen the movie, and I've only read maybe a quarter of this. So we'll call it as, and I haven't read it, so I definitely have to go back and read this. Same thing with Lizzie's story. I think I got to maybe like 15 chapters, and I decided to watch the 10 episode TV series. And I liked the series. It was cool. It was freaky, but I liked it. So I have not finished this one yet either. Just After Sunset. Yes, I read it. Fun book. Very different. I wouldn't put it, in terms of stories, I wouldn't put it in a top 20 probably, but there's still some fun stories. From a Buick, sorry, maybe someday I'll learn how to talk English properly. But yeah, from a Buick 8, I've never read it yet. So, alrighty. Stephen King's 11/22/63, top five. I love this book. Yeah, there's nothing else from King that will ever probably take this away from top five. Sometimes it's one, to be honest with you. Sometimes it's two or three. It just kind of depends on my mood, but it's definitely in my top five. Love this book. This was a lot of fun. Obviously, a continuation to The Shining. This was really cool. Nice. A whole lot better than the movie. And I actually enjoyed the movie for what it was, but it was nice, though. Another one of my favorites. I would definitely put these in my top 10, the whole Mr. Mercedes trilogy. I love it. Hobb. What's his name? Oh, God, I forgot his name all of a sudden. But anyway, yeah. God, I forgot his name. I know Holly's in it, obviously, and where's her name? But anyway, we all know. But yeah, this is the BAM edition, special edition. Now, these are most of my books up until I want to say maybe here, all the way down, are all first prints. So I've like tried my best to get a first print and first printing, first edition, I should say. Then some of these are not, obviously, because these are newer books and whatnot, and obviously these are book club ones. But all of these books are all first print. Not that it really matters. If I love the book, I'm gonna get it anyway. But just putting it out there that I really, as a collector, always try to get first prints. Some of them, obviously, with the Doubleday stuff, that'll never happen because they're just too expensive unless I win the lottery. But yeah, but even these are like, for example, this is the first print, first edition. So yeah, I love my Mr. Mercedes trilogy. Such great books. A lot of fun. They get a little trippy, especially the second one. For those, if you don't know, I'm not trying to give anything away, but it almost like doesn't really match the aesthetics of the first book, but then the third book kind of makes up for it. But I get it. Yes, a lot of people get mad because it kind of gets all supernatural. I like it, though. I think it's super cool. But yeah, End of Watch is number 3. That was Finders Keeper, by the way. So I love the series so much that, again, I got the box set. And obviously, these are not first editions. They're first editions, but not first prints. They're like all over the place. And I don't really need to show you the covers because it's really all the same thing. It's just, it has the happy face instead of the normal spines. Then The Outsider, surprisingly enough, when I first read it, I actually read this before ever reading the Bill Hodges. That's what it is. Bill Hodges trilogy. Before anybody starts typing. So yeah, the Bill Hodges trilogy. I didn't know that Holly was in this, and if you didn't know that, I apologize. But yeah, Holly's in it, and this gets a little bit supernatural. So it kind of has the aesthetics again of the End of Watch, which I do like. So yeah, again, these are a little bit out of order because my system is, yes, I try to do chronologically the way they were released, but if something matches with themselves, I put it together. Obviously, this isn't the way they were released. They were actually released in between other books, but I just want them together. Same thing with If It Bleeds. There's only one story here that belongs with the whole Holly thing, Holly Gibney. So that's the one that I read. I have not read the other four. I believe there's 5 in here, and I've only read her part. So yeah, pretty cool cat with the mouse in them as a nose. It's pretty sweet. Then obviously we were just talking about her. I have Holly. I don't have her latest book, so I do still have to get that. I also have to pick up If You Like It Darker. I know that's one of the latest ones. I have not picked that one up yet. Revival, I've also read it. It was awesome. I like this a lot. If you like Frankenstein, then you know. Bazaar of Bad Dreams. I have not read this one yet, and I believe these are also short stories. Let's see. Yes, there's a lot of short stories here. Have I read anything? Oh, I actually have the audio for You Are. Um, it's a dramatization, I believe. But yeah, that's all I have, and I actually have read that audio, or heard, I should say. Here I have Owen King, his son, Sleeping Beauties. I have not read this either. The Institute, absolutely. Before the show even came out, I gotta say, I actually like the show a lot. Yes, it was missing a lot. A lot of things kind of changed a little bit, but in terms of who was supposed to die, they actually did die, which is kind of sad to me because I was hoping they would change that up from the book. But you know, it is what it is. If you know, you know. But yeah, The Institute, really, really cool book. I would definitely say top 20. I know this is a book that a lot of people are very divisive about, Fairy Tale. I actually really, really, really enjoy this book a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. The only thing that actually bothers me about this book is I really wish it would have been part of the Dark Tower. I really do. The fact that he did not take advantage of that. I mean, that's a me problem, obviously. I feel that yeah, this could have been part of the Dark Tower, but he just for whatever reason didn't. So it's its own thing. So if you don't like the Dark Tower, then you might enjoy that actually more. So that's actually pretty much done with all my hardcovers. In terms of a collector, I think I own almost every single book other than Rage, obviously. And that because again, I don't even have the Richmond Bachman collection that includes Rage. In terms of hardcovers, that's it. And then in terms of trade paperbacks, I pretty much have every single book he's ever had. I think I'm missing maybe 6 or 7 titles. So again, if I don't have it in hardcover, I have it in trade paperback. But hopefully someday, as 2026 is now actually around the corner, maybe someday I'll have it in both type of sets. I would love to have paperbacks and the hardcovers. But anyway, yeah. So this is my first big tome of The Stand. I don't have a hardcover anymore. I had one. I let a friend borrow it. Just never returned it. It's kind of a bad thing about letting people borrow your books. I love letting people borrow books, but what I usually do is for the people that are very close to me, if they say, hey, can I borrow this book? I'll be like, you know what? You can have this book. Unless it's a really hard to find book. And obviously, in terms of me replacing it, I would have to replace it with like a later, print or whatever. Let's just say I have a first print and, it's in the hundreds. Then obviously I'm not going to let you have it. But I'm not going to give it away, I should say. But that's why I like having also paperback, because paperbacks I can be like, here you go, and if you don't return it, then you don't return it. But again, I let a second print, first edition of The Stand. I let a friend borrow it, and he just never returned it. So, but yeah, so I have this nice paperback version of it, and this is actually the one that I read a year and a half ago, or whatnot. And then I did the audio too, just because I was curious. So yeah. So that's that one. We're almost done. We're almost at the stretch here. Under the Dome. What can I say about Under the Dome? I like this book. I really do. And again, another controversy for those people is I belong to a couple Stephen King Facebook groups, and a lot of wonderful people, go into those pages and have their opinion. Obviously, I actually like this show. I know, again, I'm one of the very few, and the reason being is because I actually watched the show, and that actually goes with a lot of the things that I do in terms of Stephen King. I actually watch a lot of the movies and a lot of the shows before I've ever read a book, other than the stuff when I was a lot younger, and those things weren't as prevalent. So obviously, I started reading Stephen King when I was in high school, and not because I wanted to, but every time I had to do like a book report or something like that, I just decided one day, it's like, can I do it on Stephen King? And I remember my first teacher saying, "Are you kidding me? Like, that guy's gruesome. He's gross." And I was like, "No, he's not. The books are fine. They're not a big deal." They're like, "Are you even old enough to read some of those books?" I'm like, "My mom lets me read them, so I don't see what the big deal is." So yeah, so that's how kind of got into the whole Stephen King, and it's only because my mom had Stephen King books in the house at the time. So that's how I started reading The Dark Tower and whatnot. But anyway, going back on this, I do like the show. Again, I won't give any spoilers, but I like Junior in the show a lot more than I do in the book. Again, maybe that's a hot take. Maybe some people will be like, "You're out of your mind, you're crazy." But I really do. Some of the other characters I also like a little bit more than the book. But in general, yes, the book is better. I'm not saying that the show is better. Yes, the book is better, but there's just certain characters that I like on the show a lot. Now, I will agree with everyone else. Yes, season 3 just went off the handles. Um, but other than that, though, I like the first 2 seasons. I think they were fine acting with what they could do with it and whatnot. Also, if you didn't know, Stephen King's actually does a cameo. He's drinking coffee in at the restaurant, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, so I mean, I do I like Under the Dome. I think it's a really cool book. I just like certain things about the show a little bit more. Anyway, and then the last one that I have here before we finish off and start paperbacks for the next video, I have a nice copy here of a complete The Green Mile. So instead of getting the 6 issues, which someday I would like to get those little thin ones, I ended up getting this one with the slip cover. No big deal with the slip cover. I kind of wish they would have done something, not left it as plain, but you get what you get. But again, I don't even think I've ever read this particular copy, and it actually has a few illustrations. Actually, it doesn't have that many. It has this one right here, which is kind of cool. Nice Ford pickup maybe, or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, folks, so this was video number 5 of my book collection, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please rate, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let's talk about Stephen King and whatever else you like. And again, welcome and thank you again for viewing this video. Until next time, peace.